These ties were pre-marked. Walked this week and pre-marked them so Richard knows how to where to drop them off at approximately. But you see why this tie got changed. Spikes aren't holding, and it's all boogered up here in the end. Water getting down in there. That's no good. So I made another video in the past that marking bad ties on accepted track. So you go back and watch that, and I give you a pretty good explanation of what we look for in these when to replace ties. So if you want to watch that video, link will be in the description. Alrighty. Old railroaders used to call those black bananas. They're 7 inches by 9 inches by 8 1/2 feet long. And the things on the end are pressed on at Appalachian Timber where we buy our things, and that helps to prevent the end wood from splitting or what they call checking. Okay, it helps hold all the fibers of the wood together instead of spreading out. Alrighty, beautiful day here today. Beautiful day. Nice day to come to work. Alrighty. Well, more information. I get asked quite a bit. Got a brand new tie here. How long will they last? And that depends on a number of factors. So let's say we've got a good oak tie here. I don't know what wood these are. I'll get back to that in a minute. We've got a good oak tie, and we've got a roadbed. And this is not what let's assume for now we have a really good roadbed here with very good drainage. No mud. And the water's draining off and running off to the sides. So we're in tangent track. A good oak tie can last anywhere up to 25 to 30 years under ideal conditions. Now, there's one factor also involved in that a lot of people don't realize. Before these ties are creosoted, obviously they're cut green, and then they're seasoned. And the average time is around 3 to 4 months they get seasoned before they get creosoted. So if that time is shortened and they try to creosote these before the ties are seasoned well, then that will significantly decrease the life of a tie, especially maple. Maple seems to be the worst. If it's creosoted before it is air dried well enough, it's not going to last very long at all. So that's something else to consider. So ideally, we got 25 to 30 years out of a good oak tie in perfect, really good drainage conditions. Now you get a tie over here in a track that has a lot of mud, and that track's pumping up and down, then the bottom parts of the ties are gonna wear. I'll try to find a used tie, and show you that. So that significantly decreases the life of this tie when that tie is going up and down, up and down, up and down. The bottoms of it wear out because the bottom of these ties got to kind of lock in with the gravel underneath there to help hold it. Here's another thing that decreases the life of the tie. Got a spike here. Look at this. Okay, this track's pumping, and it's loosening the spikes. Now, I hope you can see around here. What happens is surface water, rainwater, will actually get down in that hole. So now you got water going down in the hole, and that water in there can't get out unless it evaporates on a dry spell. So, you know, the water down in the center of that tie, is not creosoted. That's not good. That's going to significantly decrease the life of this tie also. So you got it in the mud. I'm going to say you're going to look at, you've probably cut the life of a tie in half. And when you're in a mud hole. That's why it's another reason why it's so cost effective and important to crib these ties out when you can, and get good ballast in here so the water runs away. Drainage is just vital out here on the railroad, and we just can't get to every place. I had cribbed out not the curve up above, the one on the other side, and back behind me a couple curves, and I wanted to do this tangent, and that's when the company was going through their bankruptcy proceedings, and the money just wasn't there to do it. And we've got other problems to take care of, as you've seen in some of my past videos too. Okay, hope that answered some questions, and doing some rocking. Can't hold track service. See how bad, see that track pumping up and down? That's what wears the bottom of them ties out, doing that kind of stuff. And this is dry. This is dry weather. We haven't had any rain to amount to anything for the last 3 weeks. You imagine when it rains good. That's really soupy. It's got to get cribbed out sometime. All right. See the joints like that? It hasn't been a month and a half since I tamped this, too. It's just the track surface just won't hold. Got to get rid of the junk. So you can see why you're constant up and down, up and down, up and down. You can see why the bottom of them ties wear out. You know, they pass through here, baby. They run 6 trips. They're running through here 12 times a day. Up and down, every car. Alrighty. Slowing down, going into the harbor. Okay, very good. Well, all right. We're here on curve 15. And I told you, actually, this is 1st of May, 2023, almost a year later since I made the first part of this video. A little bit different in climate here than the last part. But anyway, we're here at curve 15. This is a 9-degree curve. The sharpest curve that we have mainline on our track is at 13 degrees. So I told you in tangent track how your good ties are going to last 25 to 30 years. You get into a higher degree curve, then there's a considerable amount of forces pushing, you know, against this outside rail as it goes through this curve when the train comes down through. So, you know, if you have ties in good ballast like we have here, you know, these ties with all that pressure against them, they're not going to last as long as if they were in tangent track. Okay, and I can't give you an exact number of years on how long, but there's a lot more stresses on the entire track structure going through a sharp degree curve than there is in tangent track. Okay, so I think you can understand that. So these ties here are not going to last quite as long as they would. Now you get in the mud in a curve and you got a serious situation, because when that track's pumping up and down in this curve, plus the the force is pushing out against the rail, then you know, that'll significantly decrease the amount of time or the life of that tie. Plus, you know, that track pumping up and down and the rail pushing out. Now, you're looking at you got to do some really good track inspections and keep this track engaged, because you get enough ties in through here that you have your high spikes and you're moving up and down. You're asking for a derailment. So up here, this has all been cribbed out. This whole curve has all been cribbed out. And up here in the tangent track, I made a video on that. I showed you right in that tangent, almost over a half a rail length, where it was really horrible mud. And it's all been cribbed out by now. But here's a picture of that. If you haven't watched that video, you can go back and watch it on the worst section of track we had. So this is what it looked like. Now imagine having that here in the curve. Your train's going to go on the ground. So, you know, folks, the life of the tie depends so greatly on the ballast conditions. Okay? These ties here are going to last a long time because this is good ballast, and the water's draining away real nice. We've had 3 days of pretty good rains here, and the water's, I got all these shoulders cleaned up. The water's going away from the track. It's draining out. We're doing really good here. And this is a nice track now. It's really nice compared to what it was. But cribbing ties is the absolute most cost-effective thing that we can have, that we can do here on our railroad. You know, if we interchanged with another railroad and we could get some big, some of those big cleaners in here, that'd be different, but we don't. So it's vital. It's vital for the health of our railroad track to keep the mud out, crib ties. I talked to you in another video about undercutting and taking the entire track out. Talk to you about that and why we can't. It's cribbing ties is the most cost-effective thing we can do. And all of this, all the way up through that next curve up and the next curve up, I've cribbed out. Actually did this last fall here in 2022. Finished it up. Okay, so there you go. Well, I just thought of another thing here I wanted to add in. You know, going through here and getting the mud out of here, cribbing these ties. I said it's vital. It's absolutely vital. Not only for the safety of the train, but to increase the life of the entire track structure. You know, you're going to significantly increase the life of a tie. Ties are never going to get cheaper. They're always going to go up in price, so you're saving a significant amount of money there. When you got nice ballast, you can keep this track in real nice geometric alignment. And that saves, plus you keep your track at the right super elevation, and that saves a considerable amount of wear on your rails. Okay? Plus, if you have to change the ties, then you got a little bit of cost for new spikes, but the rail and the ties are the big thing. I mean, rail is out of sight. Those last 40 footers that we got from Steelton are $2,000 for a 40-foot stick. You know, if you can increase the life of that rail and increase the life of your ties, you're saving all kind of money. Plus the time, money, effort it takes to replace all this stuff. You know, so you know, it's not. This is it's just so important to get rid of the mud. And you guys know from my past videos, we have a ton of mud, and we've had a lot of leaky coal cars for how many years and years and years. And the past regime didn't do a real good job at getting rid of all the coal fines that were in the track from all those 30 some 40 years of leaky car doors, and the track was full of coal, and it plugs it all up, and the water gets under there, and you know the cycle. So there you have it. Said cribbing ties is the single most cost-effective thing we can do out here to increase track safety and increase the life of our infrastructure here. All right. Wanted to add that in. That's pretty important. Okay. Well, here's another thing that I just thought of, and most people don't. This is bridge 2. Most people don't realize, you know, when you get rid of their mud and you can keep your track surface and your track geometry in nice, really nice shape like we've got here, that significantly decreases the amount of wear and tear on your rolling stock. Everything. It's hard on a car to go through track that's not in good alignment, and it has a lot of surface perturbations in the track itself, the ups and downs. That's hard on a car. That's a lot of stress on that car from that. So you know, when you get mud track, you can't you can tamp it all you want and dump rock in it and tamp it, and you got mud. You're putting mud under those ties. So dig that mud out of that crib, get rid of it, so I can put good ties, a good rock under there, and I can hold it. Because you can dump rock on the mud like we tried up here in that really bad spot because my excavator was down. We tried that, and it just won't hold. It just will not hold. You got to get rid of the mud. And now we got track surface that's holding really, really good, and will for a lot of years to come. So that's another cost savings that cribbing ties, getting rid of the mud, has for the company. You know, I said, it's just totally cost effective. All right, I'll get off my soapbox now. Okay, there you have it. As I told you, I'd find a tie somewhere that has a significant amount of wear. You can see that tie. Not very thick at all compared to this. See these old clips that they used to put in there to help keep that together instead of splitting. Some of them actually had 2 clips in there. That's the old style. Now they use the plates. As you can see, this is out of a mud hole, and you can see what that how that when a train goes over there, up and down, up and down, up and down, this ballast just keeps wearing into that tie, just keeps wearing into it, and you see what happens. Now this is an extreme case. Here's another one that's about half the thickness of an original tie. Like I said, these are extreme cases, but I did want to show you this, that that's what can happen when you get mud in your track. And you figure that train going over there, up and down, every car, 38 cars plus the 2 locomotives, that's a lot of up and down movement when you're running, you know, we run 6 trips a day. That means there's 6 empties, 6 loads over that, doing that, and it adds up over time. So there you have it. Just wanted to show you that. So that is an extreme example. That's another reason why we put in 2,000 ties a year, every year, and have done so. We have an excellent tie exchange program here. We do a very good job at that. Ties are critical to your track. Alrighty. And thank you very much for watching. Okay. Hope you have a really good day, and happy rails to you until we meet again.